Hello, Dr. Brant Hulsebus here, and welcome to another edition of Ask the Chiropractor. Ask the Chiropractor is my little podcast that I do. When someone has a question about chiropractic or chiropractic care, I try to answer. I'm a chiropractor here in Rockford, Illinois. I'm a proud graduate of Palmer College of Chiropractic, and I'm happy to be the team chiropractor of the Rockford Ice Hogs. Let's dive into it. Hello, and welcome to episode 12. If you've been with us the last 12 weeks, we've been on quite a journey discussing everything you can discuss about chiropractic care. And I've always wanted to do this podcast because I've always said if you have questions about chiropractic or chiropractic care, the only person that's qualified to answer those is a chiropractor. Now, how do I know this? Well, since 2004, I've worked with the Rockford Ice Hogs hockey team as a team chiropractor. And I got to sit side by side with numerous medical doctors, orthopedic surgeons, general surgeons, and doctors of osteopath. And we have to go to so many games together. We get talking and discussing different things about hockey, but more about what we do every day. I ask them questions. Hey, I have a patient. They're having a transplant of a liver. How long would they be in the hospital for? I don't know. I'm not a surgeon. No, I asked them. And they've asked me numerous questions about what I do. And I kind of learned about what they think, what they talk about, and what they think about as chiropractors. And I've learned they don't know much about what we do as chiropractors. And there's something against them. They're not chiropractors. I know very little about dentistry. Very little. Because I never studied that. It's not part of what we learn as chiropractors. So as medical doctors, they don't learn what we do as chiropractors, so they're kind of ignorant. So I started this podcast many years ago about Ask the Chiropractor. And I wanted to take a time out and do a 12-week episodes about just general everything. Now, in the future, we'll do deeper dives into different topics, but I wanted to give an overall chiropractic, Ask the Chiropractor topics. If you go back to episode 1, week 1, we talked about the nervous system and how chiropractors influence the nervous system through chiropractic care. A lot of people think we're back doctors or back pain doctors or neck pain doctors or headache pain doctors. In reality, we access your nervous system through your spine. We try to influence your autonomic nervous system, your sympathetic or parasympathetic, your fight or flight nerves, maybe is a more common term. If you want to learn more about this, go back and listen to episode 1. We do it all the time. Then we talked about one of the most common findings in our practice today when people walk in through our door. They're having neck issues. My neck hurts, my neck this. We talked about how people get neck issues. We talked about the society and the things that we do in today's world. And I gave some ideas how to try to fight back against it. Not just with chiropractic, but with different stretches and exercises. Week 3, that was a natural digression into headaches and how chiropractors help people with headaches. People get headaches all the time. Chiropractors, we focus on those top 2 bones in the neck, trying to get rid of those headaches. It's also a common place we see people with head injuries. And that was a natural lead into sports. Like I said, I've been the team chiropractor for the Ice Hogs. I've also been a team chiropractor at a couple of high schools. We are Rock Valley College. We work with their athletes. Here in Rockford, we take care of tons of athletes, D1 basketball players, all the way down to the guy that wants to play hockey on the weekend with his friends. And each one brings a different, unique challenge to us. We talked about when you don't play hockey, when you're stuck at work, and what your desk looks like, and the ergonomics, and how we're destroying our spines with our sitting posture today. Sitting is the new smoking. Maybe you've heard that. Then we go from working in bad posture to the one that's most affected by bad posture, and that's your pregnant patient. So we talked a lot about how chiropractors help with pregnancy and how chiropractors can make a pregnancy better and how chiropractors even help some people be able to get pregnant, like my grandmother's story. Then we talked the next week, episode 7, about newborn babies and pediatric chiropractic care, how we take special courses and get more advanced training, but yet we're all trained the basics as we go through school. Then we know kids have a lot of stress. They have it and they create it if you're a parent. So we broke down how stress affects your overall body and the ramifications of chemical, physical, and emotional stress, and how chiropractic sometimes can unlock vicious cycle of getting stuck in there. Speaking of stress, you know what upsets the gut? We talked about the importance of gut health and some of the areas where people have gotten relief through getting chiropractic adjustments for their gut health and how they can keep that going for years. Speaking of years, episode 10, we talked about the spine and how to prevent arthritis degeneration in the spine. I'm blessed to have a practice that's been going since 1948 or 1949. We've got patients that have come here for 50 years, 60 years, getting adjusted their entire lives, and they've displayed no arthritic changes in their spine because they maintain their spine so well. And last week, we talked a lot about the false things that people say about chiropractors. Things that they say that's not true. Old rumors that need to go away. Old myths that were founded out of vicious attack on my profession. And how these have lost in the Supreme Court and other areas. And how to look those up and learn the truths for yourself and how to research the internet. So let me just break it down now that we're at the end of this 12-week journey. How you can start making yourself a healthier person this time next year. Of course, the first step I'd recommend is a good chiropractor. Now, what I look for in a good chiropractor, if you're in Rockford, Illinois, and you came to my practice, the first thing, we get a history on you, a full medical history, just like your family doctor would. We want to know the different things you've gone through in your health. If you go back when we talked about the first episode, we talked about it with the different organs. We talked about GI health in a different week. We talked about stress in a different area. The more of those things I know about your past history, the more I can detail, focus my chiropractic care or my chiropractic examination where I'm going to search to see where we can help you. Next, we do a chiropractic exam, not an orthopedic exam. We're not orthopedic doctors. Some insurance companies require us to do a bunch of orthopedic tests, but they don't really tell us what we need to know. So we might do an orthopedic test, but we combine it with a chiropractic exam. The chiropractic exam will show us how your biomechanically are moving or not moving, where we may or may not find fixations. After that, we usually do an x-ray exam. And chiropractors, we use the same views as medical doctors. We just make sure ours are always standing up. Now, 20 years ago, that wasn't a common thing. Today it is, pretty much across the board. The only thing different we do with our x-rays is we're chiropractors. We put the left on the left and the right on the right. So we're looking at you from behind. That's the side we work on, typically. Then after that, your chiropractor should be able to give you a care plan, a guide. Now, we don't do it the first day. We do it after we adjust you a couple times because we want to see how you respond. Because it's hard for us to measure how much stress you're carrying with you, be it chemical, physical, or emotional. So we adjust you a couple times, and once we learn how you respond to the care that we give, then we give you a detailed care plan. Now, I don't give you a contract. I don't make you sign up for thousands of dollars of care. I give you how many times I want to see you and how often I want to see you. When I'm going to introduce homework, I call it, be it stretches, be it exercises, whatever it is, we introduce those in your care plan. Then we maybe slow down your schedule. You know what? You're starting to hold your adjustment. When you come in, I'm not having as much to adjust. I think we can decrease the frequency of how often we see you. But if I'm going to see you less, I want you to incorporate these 2 or 3 things. Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe it's just sitting around for half an hour and trying to clear your mind. Maybe it's go to bed earlier. Maybe it's a couple stretches. We know thoughts, traumas, and toxins cause your back to go out. So we'll try to find those things out about you and try to help you eliminate some of those things so you can hold your adjustment better. Then maybe we'll go from maybe 2 times a week and 3 times a week to once a week while you're doing these things. And if you find that after a couple of weeks, you're doing a great job, you're doing the things we asked you to do, and you're even holding your adjustment longer now, then we'll change your schedule again. We'll back off even more. And now we maybe see you once every 2 weeks, 3, 4, 5, or 6 weeks, depending on you, depending on your x-rays, your exam findings, and how you respond to care. Then after that, every so often, maybe once a year, maybe once every other year, we'll do another reevaluation, see where you are. Now, I do have a thing. I said, if you've been unhealthy for 2 days in a row, something's not right, come in and see me. Or if you're not feeling right, the next day you feel worse, there's something going on, it's time to come see your chiropractor. A good chiropractor will also know when to refer you out, when it's not a chiropractic case. You've heard me last week talk about medical doctors that had a biasism towards chiropractors. I'll tell you that goes both ways. There's chiropractors that biasism against medical doctors. And I just told you here in Rockford, I'm friends with lots of medical doctors. And so I'll send you right out to them if I need to. And they understand what I do. They actually understand that if you had to have shoulder surgery, say you hurt your shoulder playing hockey like I did, and you had to have shoulder surgery, they know that I'm going to adjust your C5 and C6. Those are the nerves that go down into your shoulder. And they know by me doing that, I'm going to accelerate the nerve energy going into your shoulder and maybe speed up your healing time. And when you start to recover faster than the average patient, they're going to know that's part of the care. They're going to know we work together to take care of you. I find that very important. Actually, I had a podiatrist that came in here and said, hey, when you limp, you knock the sciatic nerve out, right? I go, yes. And when the sciatic nerve is out, it takes longer for the foot to heal. I said, yes. He said, so if you adjust my patients, the nerve stays happy, the foot gets better. He goes, I look like a better podiatrist. I go, sure. And so him and I worked together for years until he retired. So you want to have a team that works together for you. And Dr. Chestnut said the best one time. He said, when your house is on fire, people can die. It's scary. And you want to have the best fire department in the world. You want to have the best axes and hoses. And nobody denies that firemen save lots of lives. When I had to have shoulder surgery, if somebody has a heart attack, if somebody gets cut real bad and needs stitches, if somebody gets hurt playing hockey, we have hospitals and they have doctors. And they got drugs and surgeries in there that save lots of lives. Nobody ever denied that. And if you're in the hospital or somebody you care about in the hospital, you want the best doctors, the best drugs and surgeries in the world because we all know they save lives. 3 months after your fire, do you ever call the firemen to fix your house? Why not? They saved it. They were key in saving your house. If they weren't there, your house wouldn't exist anymore. No, you call a plumber, a bricklayer, electrician, whatever you got to call to fix your house. So think about chiropractic like that. Yeah, medical doctors do great things. They always have. But they're not very good at keeping you healthy. They're good at treating sickness. They're amazing at it. And I love the fact that they can do it. When it comes to treating health, maybe you want to work with a chiropractor, a massage therapist, a mental health coach, a nutritionist, a strength and conditioning coach. That's where chiropractic can be the gatekeeper of that because we are actually physicians. And we have the ability to work with you, sometimes your insurance company, sometimes Medicare, and get you the care you need. So I hope you enjoyed these 12 episodes. And like always, if you have questions about chiropractic or chiropractic care, only a chiropractor can really answer. Feel free to leave a comment or question wherever you're watching or listening to us, and I'll get back to you. And maybe next time you'll be the question of the week. Thanks for joining me on this 12-episode journey. It's been kind of fun doing this. Maybe I'll have to come up with another 12-episode topic. Thank you.